Hey everybody, Tag Life Done Free. Hey, we are through phase one of the community building. So I've gotten pretty much all the concrete poured that's needed in order to stand the building. There's some more concrete to come down the road, but for now we're through that. So we did the footings, we did the actually pads themselves. There was three of them across the building. The footings, we did two sidewalks off to the side and a big retaining wall. And so today I just wanted to share a video with you guys that kind of lumps all of that stuff together. So anyway, if you're interested in phase one of the community building, if you're interested in getting the foundation and all the concrete in, come on, let's check it out.
Look who showed up! Whew, Tag's running. You don't see that often. We got Jules here helping. We got the landscapers here helping.
So as you guys can see, we're pouring this first set of footing, and as you notice, it's only three sides. And you might ask why? Well, because I need to get the concrete truck back in there, and if I built all four sides of that footing, I'd have to hire a pump truck for each individual step. But so we're going to work ourselves around, and we're going to fill these footings about halfway because there's two trucks coming, and because of the amount of concrete that's there. But as you can see, we're just it's kind of like just filling a box. Footings are actually pretty easy. When you think about a footing really is nothing more than a big cleat, right? It gives something for your pads to sit on, gives them some strength, but it also kind of just locks it into the ground. So it doesn't move, very much when, the ground flexes. And a lot of people don't know this, but the ground absolutely moves as it freezes and thaws. In our climate, we have some of that. Also, I wanted to just point out, I hope you guys see it, but look at all the community there helping build it. And I'm not really at a spot where I need a lot of community help yet, just a few here or there. But you had Mo there from New Mexico, and Jules is in there. And of course, Gypsy and some others, as you'll see as we get through this video, through lots of different pours and lots of different things. There's lots of different people, who showed up to help us. As you can see, we're kind of getting to the point where we're finishing the top of this footing. You just got that one little last wall to go, and then you'll see it. Now this ground actually slopes down, so the tail of the footing is taller than the beginning. Another thing I wanted to point out to you guys is this is the first time I've used fiberglass rebar exclusively. I wasn't really familiar with the product. That was nice. Look there. B finally shows up to work. Slacker. Anyway, I never really used fiberglass before, but in all the research I've done, it claims to have a higher shear point than the steel. It's also about a third of the cost. And it's so light, that I can pick up 50 10-foot sticks, throw them over my shoulder, and throw them in the back of my truck, versus you'd never be able to do that with conventional rebar. But there's also another side to it, too, which is because rebar is metal, as moisture gets to it, I'm talking about up underneath your pad, up in your builds, if anything's touching the ground, rust begins to work its way up in there and quite often can create cracks. And so I'm hoping this will alleviate some of that. I don't know if any of you guys have any experience with fiberglass rebar, but we wanted to try it. As you can see here, we're pouring the very first pour. So this building is 30 by 62. And because it's 30 foot wide, most pro contractors, they would just pour the whole 30 foot wide. But I don't do that because I've got to be able to manage it. And so we pour them in 10-foot sections. And so as you can see, here's the first of three pads that we will pour across the front. And again, it took more than one truck, so we were waiting for it to show up. And so you got people back there with the screed board, just kind of pushing the concrete, kind of over to the end, and, surrounding our plumbing and all of that stuff. This was the hardest of the three pours because we had all of that plumbing, we had to work around. See Indiana Mike down there, and Gypsy's down there, and the landscapers who absolutely couldn't do it without. And then there's my beautiful bride sitting over there doing a little finishing as well. But so this is really the first of three pours in order to do the actual pad. Got pretty close on the concrete. I told you guys this a million times in a lot of my videos. I always have something extra to pour concrete in. And so we're taking the excess and filling a retaining wall that's up by the house. And for those of you who are interested, if you get all the way to the end, we definitely caught B on vacation. So here you can see there's two of the three pours or pads are poured, and now we're working on the third one. which will complete the actual building pad itself. But there's much more to do after that, as you guys will see through this video. There's little sidewalks that go on the side. There's a big retaining wall. But again, we just work our way across and dump the concrete and eventually screed it. Guys, I'll tell you, anybody can do this. This is not hard. It's not even complicated. It's physical. If you don't like physical work, I would stay away from this kind of stuff. But if you don't mind physical work, absolutely anybody, can do this. The difference here is probably 2 weeks by the time I poured the first one to where I am, here today. Again, trying to get that third and final pad poured. But we'll work our way across it. I'm trying to see who's in there. I think the Fabulous Fisher's in there. Wes is in there. That's me and Patty. Look, there's Pippin right there from Hacks for Your Homestead. Yep, pretty neat. And again, this will complete the floor. And so that's a big step for us, but there's still, lots and lots of concrete to do. You can see that on your right-hand side. You can see that piece of PEX laying there in the dirt. That's actually going to go to a big cistern once we get that back wall poured. It's a little ways out, but so now we're going to pour this little front footing that's up here. So this is actually going to support the overhang porch. So the porch overhangs 12 feet out the front, and it's going to be supported by massive hedge trees. Look at my silly dogs, jumped right in the concrete. You can see it up to their, their elbows. Silly dogs. Anyway, back to the pour. So we're going to pour this footing. I will backfill all of this with dirt, once we get it all settled in there. And again, this is going to support an overhang. The building itself is 30 feet, but when you count the overhang, it's 42 feet. This will give us a place for picnic tables, an outdoor kitchen. As you can see in some of these clips, you'll see the plumbing running out of the center of that, retaining wall. But again, footings are super easy. It's really just a matter of, filling a box. There's Jessie. That's the Jessie that belongs to Callie. I know all you guys know her. Right, but again, just filling a box, and it's pretty easy process. Concrete comes out, smooth it out, let it dry, and after about a week you can actually build on it. So it looks like that's a wrap. Yep, right there, time to get on to some sidewalks. So these are the footings for the sidewalks. I want to be able to enter the building to use the restrooms without having to go into the building. So I poured these little sidewalks on the side, as you can see, of both of them. This again will allow us access to the bathrooms without having to enter the building. And as we do festivals and as we do get-togethers and as we do classes, this certainly becomes important. These are super easy pours. It's 5 foot wide. It's just like a sidewalk. I could do these pours all day long. They are easy. Like I said, it just doesn't take a lot. Really, it's the finishing time takes more than anything, but you just kind of work your way around, and you keep working on it and keep working on it.
I like watching you work.
I know you do. We're trying to just get it finished up, and so once we get it finished, we'll be off and running. So now we've started the retaining wall. This is the scariest of all the pours because there's so much pressure that bottoms of those can absolutely break out. The walls can fall over, and so you got to go to kind of extended lengths, to really get it to hold up. That big truck over there you see is a pump truck, for those of you who don't know. So the concrete truck backs up to the back of it, loads it into the truck, and then they pump it. This makes it a lot easier to fill it. We had lots of help today. Again, I can't thank my community enough. But it pretty much goes without a big hitch. Had a little wall bow, but we, dealt with it. But you can look at all that reinforcement that's down in there. That's just to stop that wall from really being able to move anywhere, until it hardens. But this was a glorious day. Once we got it done, my stomach quit hurting because I always worry about, the concrete blowing out. Once you get it poured, it's a matter of just finishing the top. Again, I'll build a wall on top of that that will match the side walls when we get the building up. But I had to build this because that ground slopes down to it. And I also needed a place to bury the cistern so that we have water down there in the winter because, again, the community building will be completely off-grid. Well, I can't tell you how excited I am to have phase 1 of the community building done. So we're going to start building walls here today, which I'm pretty excited about. And hopefully before long, we'll have a community building. So these walls go right where this wood ends, because they're like, again, the outside is just a sidewalk. So they're going to go right there from the corner of that wall and run inside of that sidewalk all the way out, and then surround the building. But I left that interior 4-foot wall in because I'm going to need it to run plumbing and those kind of things. But it's pretty much a wrap. We got a little cleanup to do. But how exciting is it that we are moving on to the next phase of the beautiful community building. Want to give a special shout out to our cameraman, Lou. You're an absolute monster.
All right, everybody. I caught her. She's busted. She's on vacation. Look at her. She's a slacker. Oh my goodness, she's such a slacker. What do you have to say for yourself, Miss Vacation Lady?
Yeah.
Okay, now we got it under control.
Yeah, now we do.
I think you got about the right amount of holes that are start filling them up.
Okay.
Here she is in her native habitat. A female human pouring concrete. Look at you go, girl. B is on vacation.
It gets to going.
Did I make a mess?
Look at the mess B made. Lou, what do you have to say for B's mess?
We can get it up.
Is she sloppy?
No.
Yeah, I think she's sloppy. Jeff, Lou is covering for her. B's sloppy, isn't she?
What a mess.
What? Yep, see, Gypsy said you're a pig pen.
No, he didn't.
There you go. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Here comes B. Look at, she's got concrete on her shoes. I need a nap. You guys are making me tired.
I can't tell you guys how amazing it is to have community. So many people have participated up to this point, and so many more will participate as we continue on. We've had people involved in this process from all over the United States. And you know, to everybody to come together and to do it and to just learn and to just enjoy each other was just an absolute magical thing. And I hope at the end of the day you see the magic. The world, you know, that we live in today is getting weirder and weirder and scarier, and you know, I would encourage everybody to get out there and yoke up. But at the end of the day,